G'day everyone. I thought I'd just do a short hobby vlog and talk about what I've been working on lately. It's been a while since I've made a video, but I have done some hobby recently and it's been great getting back into it. So I thought I'd show it off. Alright, so these are some snipers I've made from Anvil Industries' modular range. And they're based off the snipers from They Are Billions. You see, I made some soldiers a while back also based off the They Are Billions artwork, which I'll share some images of. Anyhow, I just really like the style and the aesthetic of the They Are Billions artwork, so I wanted to replicate that in a tabletop army. So here are the Thanatos, which are basically missile launchers in They Are Billions. This is my best attempt to replicate them. I'd probably, if I was really keen on 3D printing, find something or maybe design something, but I just want to stick with the Anvil Industry range, keep it simple, and I think they did a pretty good job trying to replicate the Thanatos look. They're going to have armored legs. Once they're painted, they'll be better. And then we have the machine guns. So here we have the machine guns. Now, the machine guns in They Are Billions look a lot like a Maxim gun or a Gatling gun. Anyhow, I decided to stick with this look because you can still have rotating barrels or whatever, or air-cooled barrels in this post-APOC setting. So I went with that, and I was very impressed with the Anvil Industry range of bits for their machine guns. There's all sorts of ammo cans. There's belts of ammo. So the hard part was getting this belt of ammo to look like it's being fed by the assistant gunner, or the main gunner sort of fires it. And I reckon it's a nice sort of compromise of sort of high tech and just more sturdy, reliable, rugged stuff that just doesn't go out of date really. And in They Are Billions, these guys are killing zombies, so you don't need like particularly fancy stuff for that. You just need solid, reliable guns and pieces. And you get a lot of ammo cans and crates and stuff, so that's great. So I made this crew look like it's in the middle of reloading. The gunner's grabbed an ammo can, while his assistant gunner's getting ready to protect their position, I guess, while enemies come up. And the gunner's probably going to have a yell at him for not having ammo cans ready. So, like this one, ammo cans are all nice and ready. And there's another ammo can there, and the assistant gunner has some binoculars in his hand. He's observing, or sort of spotting, whatever we call that. And yeah, that's what I've been working on lately. Alright, now this is my paint setup for how I did the snipers. As you can see, it's just some Citadel flesh colors, Bugman's Glow, Cadian Flesh Tone. Bugman's being the base, but I actually think I based the faces, the skin with brown at the same time I did the tunics or the uniforms. So that's Rhinox hide base coat for skin and cloth at the same time. Then Bugman's Glow, Cadian followed by a wash, strong tone flesh wash, depending how dark or what tone you want the skin to go. Then a highlight Cadian flesh tone, and then putting up some Screaming Skull mixing up some Screaming Skull into the Cadian flesh tone. As for the uniforms, Rhinox hide base coat, Cavalry brown for the main color of the uniform, and then just a little bit of Screaming Skull mixed into that. And that is the result you get, more or less, with these guys. The guns are just black. Black, dry brush with a bit of mid grey to sort of set the highlights and tones. Then I dry brush some gunmetal. There's going to be shining silver as well. Dry brush on top of that. You can see a little bit of the silver on the gun at this point. Well, a little bit of the gunmetal on the gun. I wanted that to sort of make it look metallic and give the appearance that that is metal, that there's some scratches, wears, and dings on it. Scopes and optics are going to be green. Eventually they'll stick out more. I'll have finished photos soon. And the eyes are a bit of a tough part to do. You can sort of see them there. I tend to do the eyes after the Cadian flesh tone layer. That way I can do another little bit of Cadian flesh tone, or even Bugman's, to clean up the eyes, and the Cadian flesh tone mixed with Screaming Skull to also clean up the eyes. So I don't do the eyes last. I do the eyes halfway through basically, so I can still clean them up quite a bit if I screw up the eyes. And the eyes are just first you fill in the eye with black, and then you put a little bit of white for the whites of the eye. But sometimes you end up going back and forth because it's hard to get things right. Now these are the brushes I use. I like to use Army Painter brushes recently. It's the Army Painter Wargamer Monster, Wargamer Regiment, and small dry brush. And it's nice just having a knife or a sculpting tool around in case you've got to flick or scrape something at the last minute. Maybe a bit of a fluff or grit gets into your work. And then there's my primer and so on. I use VHT black primer. I really like it. It's quite thin, so you can put it on in a few layers and doesn't screw up the detail. And I really like it. It works really well. I've never had any issues with it as long as you use it properly. Then there's some Vallejo surface primer, which you can just put that straight onto a brush and then get it into the hard to reach places, which is what I did with all these highly detailed resin miniatures. And the Anvil Industry stuff being such high detail, there's usually quite a few bits that need to go in to fix up the undercoat because it's hard to get the spray into all the fine little detail areas. And then there's my basing material, Vallejo Earth Texture. That stuff is great. I really like it. But I also have Citadel base kit for the slate and some of the brass bits. They've got a range of different ones depending on what you want, what you like. And I also use some of the Vallejo thinner medium and varnishes and stuff, and brush soap. It's all just great tools to have and learn what you're working with. Now, I didn't just go out and buy all this stuff at once. This is stuff I've tried and accumulated over years, and I have used other stuff like Army Painter, Citadel stuff, different glues and things. And you try to find what's a cost-effective product that works for you, and develop your experience with it. Because the more you practice, the more you get a feel for what works for you, what you're comfortable with. And thinning your paints is one of those things. You get a feel for it. The more you practice, the more you sort of get a feel for the process of how you assemble and paint your minis. Like I like to assemble these guys, and then I like to put the basing material on, and then I undercoat, and then I like to base coat the models, and then I'd like to base coat the base material, the dirt and stone. And when you're dry brushing that, it tends to go off on the boots and other stuff, makes it look like it's got a bit of weathering and dirt while you're doing the dry brushing. So that sort of saves you a lot of time and effort and can give you a great look. And then just, yeah, stuff like varnishes. Like I've got the gloss and matte varnish. And sometimes a simple bit of gloss varnish on your model can really fix up the eyes, the glass, anything that you want to sort of make it pop. Gloss varnish is great for that. Even hair, if you want someone to have a look like slick back hair. I'm looking a bit wild and bushman at the moment with the lockdown and all that stuff going on. But I hope you like this little hobby vlog of mine, and yeah, keep on hobbying. Have a good one.